This is Wednesday, May 6th meeting of the Personnel Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. This is Claire Pond, Chairperson of the Personnel Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling the meeting to order. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tom Bradley.
Affirmative.
Sue Terrian.
I'm here.
Margaret Nartowitz.
I'm here.
Mary Arata.
I'm here.
And Claire Pond. With a quorum of the committee present, I call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. on Wednesday, May 6th. This open meeting of the Personnel Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Berlin website at www.townofberlin.com. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, provided reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. While no in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The standard public comment portion of this meeting will accommodate limited public comment. For this meeting, the Personnel Committee is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, identifying how the public may join. The public is encouraged to follow along during the meeting using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Supporting materials that are available this evening to members of the Personnel Committee can be made available to the public by request. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will invite each board member by name, each Personnel Committee by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. The only speaker we have is our town administrator and our town admin. So board members and speakers on the agenda, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until I yield the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with each other, please do so through me, taking care to identify yourself. To the extent that our technical capability allows, public comment will be permitted during the public comment portion of this meeting as follows. Attendees' phones and other devices will be muted unless and until they raise their hand and are recognized by me to speak. I ask each member of the public who wishes to speak to identify their name, and I will afford each speaker time to ask a question or make a brief comment. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. So given that information, in the printed agenda, I'm going to move to review and approval of the meeting minutes that were sent out. Did everybody have a chance to read those minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve if,
And I second that.
okay. All those in favor by roll call vote. Sue,
Sue, yes.
Tom,
Aye.
and I
Yes.
approve, I approve as well. Okay, so the minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda was the PAFs from the town administrator that were sent to us prior to the start of the meeting. And has everybody had a chance to review those PAFs?
Yes.
I believe there was two of them. One was for a termination and one was for a rehire.
That's correct. The rehire is a temporary position too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the termination is a a notice of retirement or a resignation.
Right. So the rehire and the resignation, retirement. I make a motion that we approve these PAFs as presented to us.
I second that.
All those in favor, Sue,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and I approve them as well.
Okay, thank you. I will note that on the personnel action form.
Okay, great. And did we have any position reviews or advertising?
No, we are going to be trying to proceed with preliminary interviews for the Council on Aging Director. My hope was that we could get started on that next Thursday, but I am waiting to hear back from representatives from the Council on Aging. So we may or may not be able to start next Thursday. If not, it'll be the following week.
So how many did you have, Margaret?
Five total.
Wow, that's great.
That's not bad. I just hope they are patient with starting.
I know,
It's
yeah.
tough.
So Council on Aging, you're waiting to do that with the Council on Aging.
Well, only representatives because we can't have a quorum, so I'm putting together the preliminary interview panel.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, and so just a couple of representatives, so I'm just trying to round people up.
Okay. I thought that our last meeting with the consultant that's doing all the work for us for the physician classification system, and I thought that went really well. I was very pleased with her update. Do you have any more to add to that this week?
The only things that I have to add, where I did touch base with her to make sure that she's including, I hope we've included all positions. We weren't going to include some of the management positions, and I said, put everyone in, put me in,
Yeah,
put the
yeah.
chiefs in, put everyone in, and that way we know where we stand against comparable municipalities. So when we can proceed from there. So
Yep.
everyone should be included, including police positions that are covered by a collective bargaining agreement. So even they would have some, even they would be included in the comps. And I think that's a good thing to be able to look at that compared to other municipalities.
Okay. Okay. And there was another thing that we wanted to just kind of go over briefly, I think, was a budget update. Is that correct?
Yeah, the budget is it's become very, very tricky, to say the least, with what's going on with the economy now. And so we have many financial uncertainties that I'll be discussing with the Finance Committee at the next meeting tonight. If any of you would like to sit in and listen to that, it's quite an interesting process now. So the COLAs that the Personnel Committee had recommended, I am at the point where I don't think that I can continue to recommend those, given the high levels of unemployment, the strain residents are facing. We're thankful we have jobs. I'm thankful I have
Yeah.
a job right now. And so my thought was, rather than proceeding with recommending the 1.5% COLAs, take the total money that would have been represented by the non-union COLAs, plus if any contract employees like myself decide that they are going to freeze their pay, or open their contract to freeze their pay at the FY20 rate, include those amounts and pool all that money together and put it in a separate and distinct budget line that's called something like contingency.
Yeah.
So what could happen is, if we put, right now the COLAs, the non-union COLAs, add up to about $28,000, a little shy of that, I think. And that
Okay.
includes additional hours as well. So if we put all of those together and then add contract freezes for the contract employees, we have only a few of us, we could put something like $35,000 in there. And if that money's put into a contingency line, and the HR consultant comes back and we find from that class and comp study that some of our employees are significantly below where they should be, there would be funding available to be able to make those adjustments in the year. But it would only be for those employees who are significantly lagging behind. So that was my thought, and I thought it was a fair way to do this, and I thought it was probably a palatable way to do this, so that the Finance Committee and the board would be agreeable to this. So I'd like to know your thoughts on it.
I think it makes total sense. I really do, because just thinking of all where was I today? Oh, we were talking about it today, how towns, everybody's in the same boat, and the
tough.
revenues aren't coming in from the places that are closed because they don't have to pay taxes except for foreign revenues.
Right.
It's what they bring in that determines what they pay in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, but I think this is a good way of doing it, because we often thought, the Personnel Committee often talked about, and please, Tom or Sue, please jump in. We talked about how the town would be able to afford any proposed recommendations from the HR consultant. How would we be able to do that? So this may work in terms of placing it in some type of contingency for right now, and the ones that are really off, then take a look at those.
Okay.
I like that idea very much. Give it to the people that, when you get that result back, that sounds like a very good idea, and give it to the people that are way below everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good idea, Margaret.
Thank you.
Do you need us to vote on that, Margaret, or is that you?
Well, if you would, I guess if some sort of expression of support from Personnel Committee, if you all feel that that is a reasonable approach, given the situation we're facing now, then I can bring that to the board and FinCom to let them know that Personnel Committee has discussed it and supports it.
So I would make a motion that the Personnel Committee, after hearing the challenges we have ahead of us with the budget and going forward, and that we would support the recommendation or the proposed suggestion from the town administrator that the amount of money that would have gone to the COLAs and for contract increases be put in a type of contingency fund for future determination.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Tom?
Tom?
Sue, I.
And I agree as well.
Thank you. The contingency, just so you're aware, the contingency will include a number of things. We're also looking at recommending that some additional ALS intercept costs be put into the contingency line. We already budget for advanced life support services,
Yep.
but the chief, with the addition of Riverbridge and an increased activity, the chief feels that there could be an increased need for ALS intercepts, and therefore the costs that go with them. So we're going to be putting, well, my recommendation is going to be to put about $38,000 in the contingency line for that. So we're going to be, when we set up the contingency, it's going to be very clear what's contained in it, what it
Okay.
can be used for. So there's going to be different things, but we'll have protocols to use it and to approve funding from it.
Okay.
Now, Margaret, I have a question. If that money is put for that specific thing, nobody else can touch that, correct?
That is correct. If we say that it is for a specific purpose, we are going to be responsible for tracking how much is coming out of that. And I'm also looking at not just having the vote of one body, like a vote of the board, but to have a vote of the board and the finance committee. So multiple approvals in order to be able to use the monies for the different specified purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, trying to keep up with my, all right. So then we did the budget update. Any other business that anybody would like to bring to the meeting?
Not
Margaret?
done.
Do we have we have a request from for a class for Mary?
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry,
right.
I forgot about that. Yes.
Yes.
So the class is at no charge.
Thank
It's
you, Sue.
beginning May. Yes, thank you. I knew there was something else. So yeah, Mary has asked to take a procurement class from the IG's office. They're actually offering it free and remotely, and so it's going to be some sort of a flexible. There's going to be a flexible schedule. I've tentatively approved, subject to personnel committee's approval, that she take the class. It would be about a maximum of 3 hours a week, but it's a useful class. So I think, and it's free of charge. So I think
Wow.
it benefits Mary, and I think that's a good thing. So I would ask for the personnel committee to support that as well.
So explain a procurement class.
This
What
one
is,
Oh, procurement. Okay, so that is public purchasing. It's a public purchasing, and this one
okay.
pertains to the acquisition and disposition of real estate. So this is all about land and
Yeah.
property purchases and disposal. So it's a good class. So yeah.
Anybody want to move that we approve this?
I will make a motion that we approve this.
I will second it.
All those in favor? I'm in favor of it. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, especially where it's free of charge and
Yep.
Mary's willing to do it on her own time, on the
Well, it's on town
3
time.
hours a week
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the work time. Yeah.
Yes.
And Sue, I.
Okay. So you have the support.
Ooh,
Ooh, we're getting playback.
that's what I was.
Funny. Okay. All right. Any other business?
I have nothing.
And I have nothing further to report or request.
All right.
Sorry, I lost your voices for a second.
Okay. You were able to hear that you gave your approval for Mary to take that class, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And I
Okay.
asked if there was any other business that anybody would want to discuss.
Tom, you missed us talking about you then. I'm only kidding.
Okay. Oh, at least you're laughing.
Mary, thank you very much for hosting the meeting. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Watching
you.
Conservation get going on another computer.
Okay, all right. So I
right.
think we can adjourn this meeting if everybody's in favor of that.
I'll let
Tom?
you all know when we have something else coming up.
Bye.
All right.
Okay.
So, okay.